something years, well, that's fine. But I mean, really, eternity just goes on and on and on. It's eons. We're not talking about years. We're talking about it doesn't end. We're talking about infinity. Um, so I mean, look, I'm not trying to push my beliefs on you or nothing at all. I'm definitely not trying to do that. I'm just having a video with you, and if you want to sit there and just not watch it and discard it, that's fine. I mean, or disregard it. That's what I meant to say. That's fine. I mean, hey, look, I'm not here to beat anybody over the head, you or anybody else. I'm just having videos here. That's all I'm doing. So you know, um, I'm just talking to my daughter. That's it. That's it. Um, I mean, if you ever saw me in person, I'm not at all. I do not beat people over the head with anything. It's not my business to beat people over the head. It's not my style. I don't do all that. I don't force people into anything. I don't do it. I don't do it. It's just not me. But you know, so yeah, I mean that's basically what it is. As far as like, God, those are some questions and they're good questions. They're good questions. I mean, the whole, well, why does God let people starve? I mean, eh. I mean, that's not a really good question, because you just apply common sense with the wars going on and people throwing money at wars. And I mean, we spend money on stupid stuff. I mean, look at some of these laws out here that are so dumb. You know, um, I'm not saying all laws are dumb, but man, this is a different story. Um, but I mean, yeah, definitely abide by the laws, absolutely. I mean, whether you like it or not, the law is a law. I mean, but not in all cases. I mean, if the law, you know, there's gonna come a time where people are gonna have to, well, whatever. I'm just whatever. I'm just saying some of these laws are not. They're not people friendly. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, so there's a difference between being a law-abiding citizen and being a punching bag for, people who are not good leaders. That's all I'm gonna say. But nonetheless, it is what it is. But yeah, that's the whole thing with you know, that's the whole thing with you know, God doesn't send good people to hell, because in the eyes of God, until we accept the Son, until He's living inside of us, we're not good people. He loves us. Again, He loves us. It's not going to stop Him from loving you, loving me, loving anybody else. But unless you have that saving relationship with Him, and it's not rocket science. It doesn't, you don't have to go through some crazy experience, to accept God. You could accept God in 2 seconds. God, you're not saved by anything but the grace of God. I mean, the thing is everyone is saved. Everyone is free. But the reason they just don't accept it, you have to accept it. You have to receive it, kind of like somebody is handing you a glass of water. I mean, the water is yours, but you have to receive it. If you don't receive it, you don't drink it. It'll just sit there on the counter, right? The water, I mean, it's still your water, but unless you pick that water up and take control of it and receive it, what good is it? It's just going to sit there and get warm, and eventually it's going to disintegrate, and there it is. Everyone's free. Everyone's forgiven. Everyone is saved. Most people don't receive it. That's why most people go to hell. Most people don't receive the gift, because people get wrapped up in this world, the material things, the phones, the clothes, just the ways of the world, the video game. It's so easy to get sucked in and distracted. People get obsessed with these celebrities. They get obsessed with, I don't know, boyfriends or girlfriends or husbands or wives or whatever. You know, Again, Nobody's saying have fun with this stuff, but there's such thing in life called balance. You know, and have your cell phone, have your sneakers, have your clothes, and have friends and all that stuff. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's such thing in life called balance. That's essentially what God is saying. Like He gave people friends. I mean, I guess, as long as, I don't know, whatever. I mean, we make our own friends, but He gives us opportunities. Um, so whatever. I'm not gonna sit here and talk for God and say what God does, what God does and doesn't do, as far as stuff like that goes. But I never let anybody. Well, of course, I can see why people might say, why would God send good people to hell if God really loves us? Why would He do that? Again, like the whole water thing I just said, it doesn't have to be that way. But God, comes and lives inside you as soon as you really accept Him and His sacrifice on the cross. He comes and lives inside of you, and He will change you. There will be a change eventually. There will be a heart change. Oh, but there will. And so if you, and again, you die in your sins in a carnal state of mind. Carnal means worldly. Carnal means people of the world, people of, no, that kind of sounds stupid. I mean, sure, I'm of the world. I'm in the world, but I'm not of the world, Of the world, I mean that worldly mindset, the strip clubs and, run around having 5 different girlfriends and, getting high fives from all your friends or whatever. People, I don't know. I've, people, they put a lot of, time in it. Like people like really, it could be anything. I don't know. Just the way of the world. I mean, I don't know. Pick some, you know, just spending all your time and energy on something and not even acknowledging God or at all, like in any way, shape, or form, in a real way. There's a lot of people that go to church 45 minutes a week, but then, it does nothing for them because they're just, it's just church attendance. Attendance means nothing. So, I mean, and there's a lot of people out there that think just because they go to church, that means they're saved. Like God is going to sit there and save somebody just because they go to church. Not at all. I mean, God saves you because He's living inside of you, and you're allowing Him to, change you and sanctify you and change you. You need the Spirit of God. That's why most people go to hell, because again, Mackenzie, they die, and they die, with the fallen nature. They don't ask God. They don't have a relationship with God. They die in their sins. A lot of friendly people. A lot of people who a lot of friendly people. A lot of good people. A lot of people think, well, I'm a good person. God will just let me in. Well, you might be a good person, but you still have that fallen nature you got to take care of. It's not about being a good person versus a bad person. I mean, it's about, you have to let God do His thing in you. God died so He can do work in you, because that's why He died, because He knows that we're a fallen race. And if God doesn't, again, you have to have a heart change. You have to be transformed. You have to be sanctified. You have to be, God has to, conform you. I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but He has to, do work inside you. He has to flush out all that dirt and all that muck that this world has just thrown on you. He has to give you a bath. He has to clean you up. You can't go to a fancy restaurant with some sweatpants on with with dirt poured over your head. They won't let you in. You have to take a shower. You have to be clean. You can't go to a fancy restaurant with dirt all over you, you got to be clean. I mean, that's a horrible way to put it, but I think you understand what I'm trying to say. You know, so that's what, you know, if that makes any kind of sense. There's a heart change that goes on. There's a heart change that goes on, and that's what people don't understand. People, you know, ask that question. I get it. I get it. I'm not at all rolling my eyes at that question. I mean, at the, you know, starving people and where's God, all that. I mean, I guess kind of sort of might be a good question if you don't really take the time to think about it. But once you think about it, it makes sense. I mean, it's not God's fault. It's our fault. So I roll my eyes more at, you know, more at that than I do what, you know, that's a good question. Because if, you know, if you've never experienced a heart change, if you don't know anything about it, why not ask the question? I totally understand. That's a good question. But I'm giving you the answer. There's a sin nature that we all have. I don't care how nice a person is. If they're not, you know, if they don't have that relationship with God, if they don't have the Spirit of God, if they're not, you know, they're going to die in their sins. It's as simple as that. So God will change your desires. You know, you won't feel the need to do a lot of the stuff that you were doing before, you know. So kind of like you might like to do one thing. As much as you like to do that one thing now, you're not going to want to do it, like, you know, later on. Hypothetically, let's say, you know, you had a relationship with God. I don't know, maybe you do. I don't know yet. Who knows? So yeah, I mean, I know I really did a good job of, you know, complicating that. I really did not do a very good job at explaining that at all. But whatever. I mean, so I mean, it probably sounds like a lot. You know, it probably sounds like hocus pocus to somebody you know, I don't know, but I'm just trying to help you out. That's all, because I care about you. You're my daughter, and you know, we live in a fallen world. I mean, look at it out there. Does it look like it's stable? It's dysfunction junction. Are you kidding me? This world is just a disaster area. I mean, so I don't know. That's all I really have to say. I love you. Daddy loves you, sweetheart. Trust me, I do love you, and you know that. Come on, if you don't know that by now, then I don't really know what else I could really do. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. I'm just, you know, I do love you, so I like to say I love you because I do. I'm still trying to figure out what this button on the corner. I don't even know what that is. I'm still trying to figure that out. I really don't even know. But yeah, you know, I really, really do love you. So, huh. It's a little white button right there next to the red one. That's weird. But yeah, I just wanted to say that. I'm gonna give you a hug. I love you, sweetheart, so much. Wow. And sometimes I'll be talking on this phone and it's just like a yellow box of like, it's just like, I don't know, man. Like if I touch the phone here, a yellow box will show up. It's got like a little sun on the side. I don't even know really what that is. I mean, honestly, I know I probably sound like an idiot saying that. I don't even know. But sometimes I'll just be talking. I won't even touch the phone. And the box will kind of like, it'll like square up my face. And it's just annoying, man. I really don't even know. I mean, I don't even really care enough to even Google it or anything. I don't even know. It's just annoying. Like once in a while, it just pop up for some reason. I don't even know why. Yeah, there it is. Yep. Oh, I know what it is. Okay, I gotcha. Right. But that still doesn't explain the fact that why sometimes when I do talk, it'll just like it'll just appear on it'll appear